Chapter 19. In the misty dawn of the following day, they went out to the ledge, accompanied by all the able-bodied hogs of the Magooch tribe. It was the time of day when the tide was at its lowest ebb. The ketch dog laid heeled over, almost high and dry. Kruva stood in the tide light explaining what was to be done. "We've got to get her back here for fixin'. I know she ain't a big craft, but 'twill be heavy going." Kamarni spat on his poles and rubbed them together. "Oh, now you don't ye fret. Us Magooches are well up to the job." He was right. The tribe were expert salvagers, having spent their lives living off the flotsam and jet sand thrown up by the seas on all types of coastlines. Carrying huge coils of rope and pushing a cartload of rounded wood logs, they paddled out over the wet sand. When they reached the ketch, Kamarni began shouting orders to his tribe. Sagax was surprised at the energy and obedience of the normally disorganized beast. "Hear me now, buckos," Kamarni yelled. "Make fast those lines to the bowsprit, forward and peak and amidship. I'll draw ye a grand old line in the sand with me stick, lay the log straight on it. That's the way you doing a lovely job. Right now, shoulder those ropes and I'll mark the pulling time for you with an old shanty." Kamarni perched on the lopsided boughs of the stopdog, singing a hauling shanty. The pullers joined in on the appropriate lines as the ketch rolled forwards on the log. "Ahoy me lads, when I was young, making the lively song I sung, way haul away. My pulse was strong, me back was too. I pull a ship from under you, way haul, and though it is not me way to boast, I towed a ship off many a coast. Haul way. We'll put her to the sandy shores, to bend your back, dig in your paws, way haul away. For when I was a babe so young, me mother o'er me cradle sung, way haul away. Kruva and Sagax were out in the front, ropes looped around their shoulders, hauling heartily with the hedgehogs. The badger nudged the sea otter. "Scaram's on the mid-side ship with a rope. Can you hear him?" Kruva smiled as they listened to the hare's nautical bellows. "When I get our ship to shore, I'll need some scoff and then lots more. Can you haul away? I'll just eat all day. Soup and salad, pudding pie. Just load me plate up, don't ask me why. Bloomin' rotten hogs, scoffin' pinchin' dogs." Marmee and some others were waiting to the other side of the tide line with a couple of pails full of nettle and dandelion beer. No sooner was the stopdog dragged onto the warm, dry sand when the toilers cast aside their ropes and gratefully gulped down great beakers to quench their thirst. However, their rest was short-served. Kamarni stood them up on their paws again, bustling about as he sent his orders left and right and center. "'Tis a good fire I'll be needing. Light one here, build me an old sandhill, a long one, with the height of a stopdog's decks. Now, start pulling up the sand alongside the ship. Mammy, do you bring enough pitch and resin with you? Bring it here to me. Frildillo, my lickle darling, fetch me an old bushy rope. Aye, that's it." Sagax and Kruva helped to build a long sandhill and wedged the stopdog hard against it. Another sandhill was built on the vessel's other side, so that she stood straight and upright. They sat taking a rest, sipping beakers of nettle and dandelion beer, watching the pitch and resin bubble together in a cauldron over the fire. Kruva's eyes searched among the workers. "I don't see Scarum around. Ain't seen him in a while. Any ideas where the flop-eared layabouts got to, mate?" Sagax refilled his beaker. "Anywhere there's food, that's where you'll find him, I suppose. That pitch and resin looks about ready." The crew went back to work, plugging up the gaps between the planking staves on the stopdog's bow. Old rope was hammered into the cracks with mallets and flat-bladed chisels, along with which the molten pitch and resin were poured liberally over the job. By early morning, the ketch was completely ship-shape and watertight once more. Sagax congratulated Kamarni and the Magooch tribe. "Thank you, friends. Thank you for your hard work and fine skills. I don't know how we've managed without your help. Alas, my friend, I've got nothing to offer in your return but our gratitude." Kamarni swiped playfully at them with his straw hat. "Arr, away with you! We did it 'cause you're grand beast and we've taken a liking to ye. A Magooch doesn't look for any reward for a friend. At all, at all." All the Magooch shook their heads and echoed the words. At all, ah no, not at all. Marmee waved her ladle at them. "Faith, and will ye be after standing there all day, telling each other what fine creatures ye are? Or will ye go back to the tenty to cook dinner and eat it myself?" The sudden mention of food to the hungry workers sent them all trudging smartly back to the tents. Sagax covered his eyes and groaned at the sight that greeted him as he entered the tent. "Oh no!" Snoring blissfully, Scarum lay amid a debris of half-eaten pies, bread crust, salad scraps, empty flagons, and the remains of what had once been a large fruitcake. The hare's stomach resembled an inflated balloon. His whiskers, ears, nose were deliberately sprinkled with crumbs. Some of the Magooch hogs regarded him with awe. "Mother Nature, will you look at him? Ah, sure, he must be a grand old scoffer. The bold feller must have to keep up his strength after wrestling and slaying all those sharks." Kruva and Sagax had never felt so embarrassed in their lives. Shamefaced, the otter averted his eyes from memory. "Marm, what can we say? After all your hospitality and friends of ours to do this." The good hogwife patted his paw comfortingly. "Ah, now, don't be fussing yourself. 'Twas not your fault. A hare was the appetite of a wolf pack. What do you say we do about it, Kamarni?" The chieftain of the Magooches had the answer instantly. "Do? I say we make advance after your skin. Well, I'll tell ye. We get to your sister's tent tea for dinner. She's gotten some viddies that you could shake a stick at. Ar now, Mr. Sagax and yourself, Kruva, if you're permitting me, it'll be 'tis myself will decide a penance for the bold Scarum. Now don't be worrying. I won't go too hard on the old beast. He can't help being a hare after all." Sagax bowed respectfully to Kamarni's wish. "You can do what you like with the villain, sir. No penance could be too severe for a creature who abuses a friend's good nature. We leave him in your capable paws." Marmie's sister Ruby was a jolly fat sort, the equal of her kin hog at cooking. They sat in the spread of cabbage and turnip and pasties, carrot and mushroom baked topped with cheese, wild beetroot soup, and Ruby's special baked fruit loaf, with elderberry and plum cordial, or pennycress and comfort tea for those who liked it. Ruby's husband, Bertie, thought Scarum's gluttony was hilarious and kept remarking about it. "Curl me spikes, that Scarum shark slayer's a real boyo. He's got a belly on him that could like an old stiff duck. I'll wager his ma danced a jig the day he left home." Ruby noticed Sagax and Kruva's silence at Scarum's gluttonous acts. She nudged her husband none too gently. "Arr, will you shove some viddies in your old gob and give me something useful to do? Bertie, eat up and hold your peace." That night they all slept in Ruby's tent, leaving the disgraced Scarum to himself. Dawn came misty, with a light drizzle that would give way to brighter weather in the course of the day. Scarum slowly sat up, clutching his stomach, alone in the deserted tent. "Ooh, me poor old tummy, I say. You chaps just leave me here to die, would you? Tell me Ma the last words her stubborn son spoke were, 'No breakfast this morning for me.'" He groped around in the grey half-light and groaned. "Course, sufferin' ice cakes. What sort of bally good morning is this? A faithful pal lying here with his head banged and his stuffed tummy bustin', and not a flamin' beast around to comfort him. Routers, I suppose they're all out fixin' that blinkin' boat. Thoughtless lot of bounders." Staggering out of the tent, he spotted a firelight shining through the walls of Roby's dwelling. "Ah, now that's more the ticket, what? A jolly good fire to sit by whilst some good-natured hogwife fetches a chap a drop or two of herbal tea to bring him around. Splendid." Entering the tent, Scarum got quite the reverse of what he had expected. It was a makeshift court, with Magooch hogs sitting solemn-faced and silent. Kamarni seemed to presiding, with Sagax and Kruva standing stiffly to either side of him. Scarum gave them a feeble smile, but only received stern glances. I say, what? Bit gloomy this morning, ain't it?" The tribe leader's voice laced into his aching head. Be it known to the hogs of the Magooch that this creature stands accused of idleness, slacking, laziness, victual robbery, and damage to pies, cakes, salads, and other sundry eatables. That's what has the accused to say in his defense. Clutching his stomach, Scarum stammered and waffled. Steady on, chaps. Can't blame a young hare for having a measly snack, especially a shipwrecked type. Kimarni stamped his football down hard. Silence. He approached the hare, pointing accusingly at him. Babes had to go hungry into their beds because of you. Hogwives were left weeping over their spoiled supplies because of you. Workers who labored hard all day repairing your vessel were left starved because of you. I want to show pause. Do we find this hare guilty? Every paw in the tent shot up, and there was a loud shout. Guilty! Pleadingly, Scarum looked up to his two cold-eyed friends. Sagax, Kriva, my faithful old messmates. Can't you put in a jolly word or two for a chum? What? The young badger shook his head. Sorry, it's not up to us. The Magooch tribe laws have been broken. You must answer to them. The only advice I can give is stand up straight like a salamander hare and take the medicine Kimarni dishes out to you. Scarum tried to straighten up, but his aching stomach kept him half bent. His ears drooping limply, he looked mournfully at Kimarni and spoke in a hoarse whisper. Sentence me to be slain, sire. It'll put me out of my misery. Tell my dear old ma and pa that it was my stomach which caused all the trouble, not me. Kimarni shook his head resolutely. Death. Oh, me fine bucko? That's way too easy. Your punishment will be to serve the Magooches as a slave for 10 seasons. No better. Make that 20. Several hogs nodded. Aye, 20. That's about right for the terrible old glutton. 20 good long seasons. Scarum's face was a picture of shock and misery. 20 blinking seasons? That's a bit jolly much, Wat. I'll be on a perishing walking stick, old and grey by the time 20 confounded seasons have passed. Oh, mercy. However, the stern, righteous face of the Magooch tribe dashed any of the hare's hopes for leniency. The stopdog bobbed at anchor, repaired and provisioned, straining at her bowline as the high tide swelled, like a dog eager to be unleashed. Followed by all of the Magooch hogs, Sagax and Kriva waded out to the ketch. The pair climbed aboard and made ready to sail. Kimarni and Marmee exchanged paw shakes with them. May the wind be at your back and the sun not in your eyes. Thank ye, Marm, and our thanks for loading us up with your fine viddies. We'll thank you for when we're eating them. We'll think of you when we're eating them. Sagax saw Scarum standing dejectedly near, ears drooping, tears dropping from his cheeks to mingle with the salt water. Kimarni shook the young badger's ball, passing him a secret wink. Well now, me bucko, I'm hoping you find Redwall. Good fortune attend ye on your voyage. Sagax made sure Scarum was not watching as he returned the Magooch chieftain's wink. My thanks to you, sir. I'm just sorry that our visit was ruined by that hare's unforgivable behavior. I'll trust you'll make him serve every day of his sentence and work him hard. Kimarni stroked his head spikes pensively. Ah, now, I was meaning to mention that to you. 20 seasons is a long time to be feeding some old glutton-faced rabbit. Would you not think of taking him back to his penance aboard the stopdog before he eats us out of spikes and home? Sagax shook his head firmly. No, sir. A glutton's a glutton, no matter where he is, on land or sea. He'll never repent. Scarum knelt. With the water lapping his chin and his paws clasped beseechingly, he moaned aloud to his two friends. I'll change me ways. I'll be good. Only take me aboard. I'll do all the work. Scoff scarcely past my lips. You'll see. Don't leave me here for 20 seasons with these spiky savages. I do mean hoggy beasts. Sagax, Kriva, dear old jolly faithful pals. I'll do any bally thing for you. Just take me aboard. Sagax looked doubtfully at Kriva. What do you think? The sea otter tapped his rudder up and down. Ain't much of a catch, is he? As he was talking, Kriva was untying the bow rope from the rock mooring. But I wouldn't feel right influencing Scarum on our good hedgehog friend for 20 seasons. Oh well, I suppose we'll have to put him in. Come on, you lop-eared excuse for a messmate, get aboard. With a bound, Scarum landed on the stopdog's deck, playing his new role as a beast of all work. Now sit back and put your paws up. You chaps, leave this to me. You'll see the whatsits of the unfurl and the whoojamacallits and the tiller and turner. I'll mean the turn and tiller, what? With a twinkle in his eye, Camarne called out as he and his hogs waved goodbye. Now go easy on those poor sharks, and don't slay too many. Evening sun reddened over the placid sea as three travelers continued their course northwards. By this time, Scarum had taken a change of mood. Huh, are you two blighters going to sit there forever with your paws up, lazy bounders? A chap needs help round here. What do you think I am, a one-hair crew? Sagax, why don't you take the tiller, and Crewbin can manage those sails and ropes. I'll make the supper. Ah, supper. What a jolly nice thought. All's I've have to eat was a snack last night. Flamin' famine-faced hog, what? That marmot gave me a whack on the paw with ladle when I mentioned breakers this morning. Flippin' spiky old tyrant. Sagax reached out with a powerful paw and grabbed Scarum by the scruff of the neck. He had him half overboard in a trice. One more word and I'll make you swim back to serve your 20 seasons with the spiky old tyrants. Kruva smiled brightly, shaking his head. Old Scarum doesn't change much, does he? Sagax was almost smiling as he whispered in Kruva's ear. I wouldn't want him to, would you? This will be a dull, boring trip with a well-behaved hare for company.